this is our product that we want to cut, a product that will give us a value. We are going to bend it once at one side. We call it in manufacturing L bending. So we want to cut one side 100 millimeters, and the other side which we will bend 50 millimeters. So as I said earlier, we have to identify the total length first of all of our product. We can see here it's around 495 millimeters in total. So we want to cut the product so that when we bend, we get 100 by 50. And as I say, there is something called the elongation value. So since this product is a 2 millimeter thickness, that means the elongation value of this product is 2. Therefore, the total length that we are going to cut using the shearing machine is 150. But if we bend the 150 millimeter product, that means after bending, we will get 152 millimeters. Therefore, if we want to cut exactly 150 millimeters after cutting, that means we must subtract the elongation value of 2. Therefore, the product that we are going to cut here is 148 millimeters length. So we are going to look at an example of how an operator or the user of the shearing machine, how it works. So we are going to look at how to measure, to calculate the length of a product until the bending. And before that, there is some theory concerning the manufacturing before cutting. For example, there is something called the characteristics of the materials that we are using here at Sheet Metal Processing Company. One of the things or the factors that we consider a lot is the thickness of the material and the material itself, the type of material that we use. In metal sheets that we have here, we have different types of materials. We have aluminum, we have stainless steel, and we have mild steel. We have others, but we don't it's not commonly used here at this company. And right now, the things that is being affected by the thickness and the material is what is known as the elongation value of a product. The elongation value of the product is the increase in length of that product after bending. Therefore, before we cut the product here, we have to factor in that increase in length of that product after bending so that there is no change of the length of the final product. Therefore, in this case, in these two machines, these shearing machines and the bending machines, it is always taken that the elongation value of the product is equal to the thickness of that product. And here, we will be using a 2 millimeter thickness product when we'll be looking at the example. Now, we'll explain how to switch on this machine. There is a main switch at the wall there. So that one we already switched on. That is the first thing when you're switching on is you must switch on from the main switch. And then when you come here, of course, you come and switch on the main machine using this button as explained earlier. And then after that, you switch on this one. You come here and switch on this monitor so that you are able to key in the parameters. And then you have to wait for some time before this screen displays. And as explained earlier, it takes some microseconds for it to turn on. And as explained earlier, there are some functions in this screen. So for example here, the function 1, it shows there is a manual mode, manual running of the machine. And that is actually what we are going to use a lot. We don't use the automatic function 2. Here, F2 is the automatic running of the machine. And we don't normally use that automatic running. Function 3 here, you can see it's original position searching. You search for original position. And position here means in terms of coordinates. It's a value. We have function 4. We have what is known as choke. It's a choke run. You run the choke, but we don't use here. We don't run. The machine is already set by the manufacturer. And then we have function 5. It means the display setting. The display setting. So when there is an error or there is something that we want to set in this machine, we use function 5. But since we've already set everything here, the only thing that we are going to do is to use the function 1 to tell the machine that we are going to use the manual mode. So function 1 F1, you just press the function F1 and the display is ready for us to key in. So for example, if we want to cut a distance of say 50 millimeters, make sure you enter and then make sure you run. Make sure you run the machine. So that means our machine is ready and it's ready for us to cut. Now you place your product first and make sure you place it to a position where there is clamper. The clamper will help you to hold the product. So you push the product until it touches the bag gauge. That's now where you know that the product is at position 148 position. After you've placed that way, you come and switch on the motor. So that way, and then there is press brake where you control the blade. And I mentioned earlier that you can control it manually using the buttons, but you can use also the automatic means where you can